Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? I don't think I've done a reading for you before. I know I do so many I forget everybody's name, but I like to explain real quick. I see, hear, feel, sense, know. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. So I try to describe the picture the best I can. We communicate the best way we can. So if if grief, brain fart, you think it was Monday, you'll whatever they show or say, if it doesn't make any sense now, keep it in mind. You'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later. Go, I know what he's talking about. So this is not an exact science. We communicate the best way we can, so sometimes you got to stretch it outside the box a little bit. They won't give me all the details. They'll give me just enough so you should know what they're talking about. So we're going to talk to Grandpa today. He comes in swinging a golf club. Now this camera, I don't think it's as good as it should be, but like when we go out and do paranormal stuff, we take pictures, and sometimes you can see energy in them. Sometimes you can see the orbs, or you can see a figure. So I don't know if I've ever seen anybody actually see, sometimes it's just wavy lines, and like over here might be clear, and this might one spot might be wavy, but he's got his face right up here, and he's staring at you, and he says, "This is cool. This is really cool. I can see you, but I can see you all the time. Just didn't know I could see you and communicate with you this way." He's kind of mesmerized by it. I promise you 1,000%, he can hear you, he can see you. This is just a little different, and some of them go, "Oh, I didn't know we could do this." So you might look in this spot right here and see if you see anything of just little different lines that you can't see the figure. He's moving behind me. He's going over to Bob's side. They've been doing that lately. He's pointing at I have some oracle cards sitting over here. He's pointing, pointing. All right, let me go through this pile. He wants me to pick one out of this pile for some reason. Okay, so there's a lot of times they ask me to pull a card that will say something that maybe we don't quite get the message. Anyway, I know that didn't make any sense. So the card I got was hello. Distant, distracted, deep in thought, detached, aloof, not feeling it, find answers in music. This is so funny because while I was shuffling, I asked Alexa to play a song by Government Mule, just random, anything. Now, I'm just starting to listen to this group, and they're from way back, I think, in the 70s. I don't really know them. Anyway, the song that she picked was Endless Parade by Government Mule. I don't know the song. I don't know the words of the song. But for find answers in music, go YouTube, Google that song, and there will be some kind of an answer in the music. And a lot of times, if you have an Alexa or Siri or some kind of shuffle, ask a question, then ask it to just pull up, like I did, just give me a song by them. First song that comes up, there will be some kind of an answer in it for you. I hope that made sense. I feel like I'm babbling. So try the shuffle thing, or try her, or however you want to do it. Let them pick the song. So let me write that down. I'm curious. I'm not going to do it now because I need to get these done. But definitely curious about the words in that song for you. And for me, I felt like I have an endless parade of spirits coming through wanting to talk to their loved ones. So that's what it meant for me. It's not what it's going to mean for you, though. It's going to be something from your grandpa. Anyway, he said he's sending you hugs and kisses, butterfly kisses. That could have been something he might have said to you often. He's coming up. Stupid thing. I have to check things out when I'm doing anything that happens during a reading is meant for you, but there's nothing coming up. Anyway, I am babbling this morning. He comes up and gives me a kiss on the cheek. This is the right side. Some of these look backwards, these videos. Doesn't have to be the right side, but you should feel like a little push. Everybody feels the energy different. So it could feel really hot right there. It could feel tingly. It could feel like a hair or a bug there that you can't get off. You might actually feel the wetness of the lips. It probably will be very, very slight. So it'll be something that you would just poo-poo if you didn't know that that's him. He's also trying to give you a hug. And same thing, you could get a sudden chill, you could get a goosebump, you could feel the pressure of his arms around you. We don't have these arms anymore because we don't need them. Something about going down a long, hard road. And he's shown me, I don't know if he was talking about himself, that he went down a long, hard road, or that you are going down a long, hard road. See, I'm not even talking straight. That was funny because I just got this weird feeling right before I said road. He's showing himself like walking down a dirt country lane. Fence on one side with a pasture, trees on this side. Don't know if that even sounds familiar. I mean, it sounds like lots of places. And he's just walking down this long road. Doesn't look hard. It looks peaceful. I honestly don't know what he means by this. It's about to come to an end. There is peace and peaceful at the end of it. So I think he's talking about you. He's showing himself doing it, but I think he's talking about you. Your long, hard road is about to come to an end, and there's going to be nothing but peace. It's going to be peaceful. I cannot see the end of this road. So as he's walking in front of him, it all fades out. And this is where we get in the spiritual charades part. It's faded out in front of him. I can't see beyond him. And that's because the long, hard road is going to end there. And I can tell there's a road that continues, but it's like really faint, foggy. And he's making a big deal of this, so that's why I'm kind of stretching that out. Past that point, that's where the peaceful part's going to be. Okay, he says rings on her fingers and bells on her toes. I think there's an old song like that, but ALEXA couldn't pick it up. See, did he like music a lot? Because like my Bob, who's gone, he talks to me through music, through songs. Okay, but there is a song that has that in it, and she did not pick it up. Anyway, see if you can find that. Not sure why he's bringing that up, so there'll be something in the song. He wants you to play first song on the radio. That's what I call it, first song on the radio. I play this with my Bob. Let's say you're going to work. So, but way before, I mean, it usually doesn't work if you do it like the instant you turn the car on. Usually kind of let him set it up, and you'll know when you get in the vehicle and you turn the car on, first song on the radio. First song on the radio. And just set it that way. Like if you go to work every morning, just say first song on the radio when I go to work. And leave it at that. Tell him you want every day. First song on the radio. It may not be the song. It could be the name of the artist, could be the name of the song, could be the first line that you hear on the song. He likes the music. Like one night I saw 808 on my digital clock in my truck when I got in. To me, that spells B-O-B, especially if you look at it sideways. Anyway, he wants me to explain this. So I listened to the exact line that was being played at that exact moment in the song. And it said, keep on dreaming even if it breaks your heart. No, keep on believing, excuse me. Keep on believing even if it breaks your heart. That's when I was trying to learn all this, trying to connect with him. Anyway, do that. Sometimes I do first song on the jukebox because I go to a place a lot. First song on the jukebox after I get there. That's a message from mine. So he wants you to play those. You'll get messages from him doing that. Sometimes, like his name will show up as the artist, singing it, or something that's connected with it. So it'll be some kind of message that he's there, if that makes sense. That was a long explanation. Hope that made sense. I am babbling. Oh, good grief, Rhonda. All right, he's shown himself in your house. I can't quite get the smell. It's like there's this cloud of smell. Like usually when they send a smell to somebody to kind of let them know that they're there, it'd be like this little wisp of air, but he's got like this big bubble of smell. He says outdoorsy. Some kind of an outdoorsy smell that you would associate with him. Usually I know if it's, cigarette smoke or campfire smoke or it's an outdoorsy smell. It's not flowers. But it's a big cloud of it. So you'll get a big woof of it. And it's like he's pushing it at you, like blowing it at you. And you'll get this not only in your house, but your car, outside, in the store. Doesn't matter where you are. When you get any signs from him, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more. Let him know that you know that that's from him. And that's your free will choice. If you don't want him, don't ask for him. It's your free will choice to do that. He's got a big smile on his face when he's doing it. He's like, hey, he loves playing with you. He says she gets it. She gets it. He's showing standing on your left side. He has his arm around your shoulder. Huge, huge smile on his face. Proud as a peacock, he says. Just proud as a peacock. So you should feel that pressure coming around here. Show me where your hand is. He's got his hand down here, not up here, down here. They make me itch. Their energy makes me itch when they get real close. So you should feel that pressure, or it could feel like a warmth, could feel like a tingling. He says tingling. It'll feel like a tingling. I don't know how somebody else will feel it. I know how I feel it. And it's like, he's still got his arm around your shoulder, and it's like he's walking along, like dragging you with him almost. Like, I'm going right here. I'm going with you. I'm not letting go. But it's it's like he took you and turned you and he's pushing you this way. You were going this way. Now he's almost pushing you this way. So he's helping you change your path just a little bit. He says there's something you're not seeing. You got blinders on. You need to look in a different direction. Change your perspective. And it's like I tell people, if I'm sitting on the floor and I look around the room, you see things in one way. You go stand up on the kitchen counter and you look down, you see things in a totally different perspective. Somehow he wants you to change your perspective in the way you're looking at something. You're looking in the wrong direction. You need to not have blinders on. He's not saying exactly what area, though, the subject he's talking. He just says life. He says going this way, you're kind of drudging along. If you turn direction, look at it different, and he's showing you like happy feet, just joyous, and he says basically in everything, change your perspective. Switch it up, switch it out, whatever that means. He says when the hairs on your head want to stand up, mine do, you'll know it's right. You're going to get that chill, that the vibration, the electricity of it. So know if something happens and it gives you that feeling that, like a dog, the hair stands up on their neck, that kind of feeling, like from here up, like pay attention to what's going on right then. Pay attention to who you're talking to, what's being said, what you see on the TV, what's being sung on the radio, whatever is going on at that moment, pay attention to it. You're supposed to be involved or do it or look into it, or he says rabbit hole. Maybe it's a rabbit hole you're supposed to go down to learn something. He says he'll be waiting for you. He says grandma's here. She keeps checking up on me. Kind of like uh-oh. I don't know if he means your grandma, now mention, or his grandma. He said his grandma. So I don't know if you knew his grandma. He's saying she's a very knowing lady. She feels like a strong lady, but not overly strong. But she just knew things. She, not like a know-it-all, but she just knew things. So, call on him. Whatever he was good at here, ask him to help you with it now. I always tell people, if Uncle Joe didn't have a pot to piss in, don't ask Uncle Joe for advice on finances and stuff, because he didn't know how to work it here, and he still doesn't know how to work it here. So whatever your dad knew how to work here that you need help with, and it's basically changing this perspective, is what he's being very, very strong about. Ask him to help you. They cannot override your free will choice. My guys are always up there going, Rhonda, I gave you other stuff. Why are you doing that? Because I have free will choice to say no, I don't want it. Asking for help, but then you have to allow what comes in. You have to actually take the steps towards the new thing, or the new person that calls, or the new job offer, or whatever door gets open. So you have to ask, you have to allow. free will choice. They cannot override it. And believe me, I wish they could sometimes. Okay, so he drew my eyes down to my, let me grab one. It probably won't be exact. My slippers. Owls. Owls are a huge sign for me. Huge, huge, huge sign for me. So you'll see an owl there, and an owl there, and an owl there, and there's more up there, and there's just owls everywhere around me. But he's talking about the slippers. So whatever sorry, I need to quit smoking. So whatever you wear for a slipper, like around the house, watch for them to move, disappear. You might set them like this. You might go back and they're like the ones like this, or one might be under the bed and you have to look for it. Watch for something to happen with whatever you use. I am muttering. Sorry. Haven't had enough coffee, evidently. Watch for whatever happens with the slippers. And it could be more than just slippers. It could be other shoes, but he's saying slippers. But he also drew my eyes to the owls. So watch for an owl to be a sign for you too. Some people think that's evil. It's an awesome omen for me whenever I am pulled to see an owl and they're all over my house. I don't even, my camper, I went and put an owl in it. And I just got the camper. Don't put up with anybody's horse shit. You know when it's horse shit. He's saying you do like I do. I sit there and I go, I know that's horse shit. I know that's a lie, or I know that's not true. And I just go, I just smile. But he says, don't put up with it. You don't have to say anything, but you don't have to put up with it. And now he's getting extremely, extremely strong. And he's saying, do not put up with their horse shit. Don't be in their boat. Get your own boat. He's being very adamant about it. Get your own boat. Use your own oars. Paddle at your own speed. He's shaking his head. He's looking a little angry. So I don't know if he's talking about one person, several people, somebody's trying to lead you down a path. Something he doesn't. It's not like a big warning. It's not like, oh my gosh, you have to do this. Trying to get him to be a little more specific. It's just quit muttering, Rhonda. I almost feel like it's one person, but like there's people behind that person, if that makes any sense. That are kind of trying to drag you off to their way of thinking, their way of doing things, their way of life, their way of something. Something, and he wants you to paddle your own boat. Don't get sucked into whatever that or they or whatever it is. Just sit back and look at it and go, okay, yeah, He says, you got it, Rhonda. And like I said, that's what I do with a lot of people. Of course, being an empath, you're kind of an empath. You know when it's horse shit, but you don't have to do the horse shit. So being an empath, we can feel it, we know it in our gut, and I just go, okay, whatever, and then I just go off my own way. And that's what he's trying to get you to do. What he would like for you to do. But you have free will choice. You can do whatever you want. And one of my guys just bopped me on the head. Said, stop telling people that. They're only there to help guide us in a good direction. It's they're not going to tell us anything that would hurt us. They're trying to steer us in the right direction. It's like my guide goes, stop telling them they can do their own damn thing. It's the truth. Okay, so he's saying, and he's not the only one doing it. I'm assuming it's your guides too, from the way it feels. Little ideas pop into your head. Say, go here, do this. Go there, do that. Just these little weird ideas pop in your head, and you go, well, I would have never thought of that. Why would I go do that? Why would I go in that store? Or why would I go over here? Or start paying attention to it. You might want to write them down. Start writing them down and see if you get a pattern out of those little ideas that pop into your head, because that's your dad, that's your guides. You ought to see the weird shit that pops in my head. And he said, don't say it. Don't say it, Rhonda. It's your free will choice. You don't have to. You don't have to do it. That's what he didn't want me to say. Oh my goodness. He's funny. He's a character. He's awesome. He's good. He said he's a miracle. I don't know what he means by that. Was he a miracle when he was born? Was he a miracle baby? Was he a miracle that he lived as long as he did? You know, he doesn't mean miracle in an egotistical way. But he does feel like it's a miracle that he can talk to you this way. He can hear whatever you say to him. It's just going back the other way, communicating. He is he is communicating with you like he did, but not as much. It's not like a constant barrage of stuff. It's it's less than it was, which he says it needs to be that way. But do not be afraid to call on him. I love you. It's I heard Katie Bug, Katie Bug. So that's we don't get names correct usually. Nicknames count, so you might have to stretch that one out of the box a little bit. Why he would say Katie Bug or something similar to that, but that's what it sounded like. I love you. He's got a golf club again. Even if he didn't play golf, I don't know. But he's off. He's off to play. He's playing golf now. Loves the fresh air. Loves being outside. Loves the peace that he has now. He said he loves it. He doesn't have to go to work every day. And they do. We still work on the other side. We still do work, and we work on ourselves, and we do learn our lessons. Okay, he's taken his golf club and he's got a wedge, if you know what a wedge is, if you ever played golf, and he's tapping it on the floor. He's just taking it, tapping it on the floor. So listen for that sound. Imagine what that would sound like, or if you have a golf club, go do it so you know what that sound is. And he's tapping it on the floor. So no, again, that'll be another sign from him. And it doesn't have to be in your house when you hear it. It could be anywhere when you hear that sound. Validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more if that's what you want. Free will choice. He's gonna pop me. Okay, with that, he's leaving. He just wants you to know that he is still there. He says, you know that. You just think that he faded out, and he did not. Sometimes they have to leave you to your own devices. I hate when they do that to me because I fall on my face. He says, you're good to go. He says, you really, truly are good to go. And again, he's shown me, change your perspective. Change the way you look. Change the way you look at something or things or life or something. About changing the way you look at it. Change direction. Look at it different. And with that, he's leaving. Okay, my dear. Much love to you. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. Thank you for allowing me to be his voice. He's kind of a character. I like him.